Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Hi, hi, hi.
Hello, everyone.
We're back for the end of September. Hope everyone's doing well. We're doing pretty good. Busy at work, both of us. Had some Disney adventures that we'll talk about. But yeah, today's the last day for our Count Mickey coffin backpack giveaway. So I don't know if you'll hear this in time, but I hope you got your answers in to our question. You know, and that question was which Disney villain should have their own ride. We'll be ending this tonight at 11:59 p.m. We are recording Saturday, the 21st. Is it the 21st? Yeah, Saturday the 21st.
Yes.
And then we'll be doing the drawing tomorrow.
Yep.
So, good luck to everyone out there. Alrighty. Yeah. So we've been gone for a bit, but we've been at the parks probably 2 times?
Twice, yeah,
Twice
since our
since-
last episode.
Okay. So let's get into that. What do we do first?
We went on August 24th, and we stayed at Pixar Place Hotel, and we met up with Carrie, Dole Whip Float, our friend Carrie.
Yep. Carrie and her fam, and it's always really nice seeing them. Yeah, they're kind of like family to us.
Yeah.
So I kind of like them. I mean, we really.
I mean,
kinda
the
think of
last
them.
time we...
You can
last
tell
time
when you think of
saw
somebody
them.
as family when you talk about them and it has nothing to do with your online presence. Your,
Yeah.
You know, check in with them and all those kinds of things. Worry about them, you know, when they're traveling. Hope everything goes all right. But yeah, that's really cool because obviously she lives in a different state, so we don't get to see them that much.
Yeah,
So,
you haven't seen them since 2021 or something?
yeah.
And
Mhm.
then I saw them when they came to California last year, or was it 2 years ago? Anyways, it was just me, and then you had bought me a ticket because we were blocked.
Yeah, that's the
during
real
spring
test
break.
of family. Would a magic key holder purchase a ticket? It's to see someone.
Yeah.
Outside of their magic key. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, it was like my birthday weekend, and then, or my birthday week, and then Carrie was in town. So I just got a ticket and did a half solo day and half day to see her.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hanging out and yeah.
So we hung out. We had hung out at Sonoma Terrace and chatted, and then we hung out again at
Did we go on, we went on
Naples?
Radiator Springs.
yeah, we went over to Springs with her and her family, and yeah,
Yeah,
it was cool. Oh,
Really
I got
nice.
to go to Hearthstone, just me and Carrie, while everyone was napping. And then later on, we met up with everyone else, and
Cool.
we tried to go to Hearthstone at the end of the night, but it was like packed. It was a 45-minute wait.
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
the hangout.
Yeah,
That's-
the hangout joint for when DCA closes. Like,
No, Disney closes. Both
oh
parks.
yeah, no, it was still like 11 or something, right? Yeah, it was 11. It was 11 o'clock, so it was an hour before Disney closes, which is when they stop serving food or anything.
Yeah.
An hour before closing. So that's where everybody was at Hearthstone, and there was only one person in front of us, but then the cast member came up and said, "Oh, it's going to be about 45 minutes," and we're like, "Oh, never mind." So then we just walked over to Naples, which
Yeah,
was a no wait.
Which is a better hangout anyway. But I guess if you're staying at the Grand,
Yeah,
Hearthstone's
it's
more
convenient.
But
Yeah,
Naples is really just across the street
Yeah.
from the entrance.
yeah.
So yeah, so that was cool. And then we met up on our next trip.
Our next trip was the Sunday before Labor Day. We met up with Aaron and Tamara,
Yeah. North Colorado
North Colorado
representing.
friends. and we went to the Magic Key Terrace. Tamara hasn't seen World of Color before, so Aaron had gotten the dining package. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that was fun seeing Aaron again, seeing Tamara for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. We really like seeing listeners, friends /
Mm-hmm.
listeners. Yeah, I think like 2024 has been like, it's kind of like a weird year. It's kind of like a placeholder year because the year before we had the podcast Mics for
Mhm.
Magic, so there was like these big planned things. And then I think a lot of people have personal stuff going on this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone has personal stuff going on every year, but it was more of and there's just a lot of stuff happening in the world,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good stuff and bad stuff. You have conflict, but you have the Olympics,
Yeah.
it's an election year, and all
Mm.
this stuff. So, and then there's the economy's kind of up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, people just kind of are using Disney more as like, I'll get there when I can,
Mm.
versus like, let's plan something big.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't bad because I think Disney's a good escape. I think that, we'll talk about the more about the business of Disney. I mean, that's kind of our niche. We talk more about the
Mhm.
behind the scenes of Disney. But I think that Disney itself is kind of suffering economically from that, because
Yeah.
I think people used to have like these yearly trips planned. And I mean, not even, I'm talking about in our circle, I'm just in general.
In general.
Yeah. And now it's kind of like, I even see it like throughout my work, and you could, like, people in HR, we can see trends within our industries
Mhm.
of like how much PTO is taken, how much,
Mhm.
it is scattered. And we can't even forecast it anymore because people are just kind of like, I don't know, I need to save it for this or that, or
Mhm.
there's a lot of like, and I talked about this in my leadership program that I do. I think I mentioned this on the podcast before. I had the high potential program at my company.
Mhm.
So all our, people that we can, that could be future leaders in the company and stuff. We have a special program that we do, and and I facilitate a meeting with them every month on different topics. And I did one on mental health, and because I like have them pick a topic the month before, and then I kind of do a dive into it.
Mhm.
It's such a huge topic, but what we are seeing though, and you can look at SHRM, you can look at like all the HR organizations. It used to be like, I know I'm getting too much in the weeds with the HR stuff, but but there's a huge spike in FMLA, which is Family
Oh,
Medical
yeah,
the Family
yeah.
Medical Leave Act, right?
Mhm.
And workers' comp when it comes to mental illness.
Yes.
And when the FMLA first came about, and older workers' comp's been around for decades and
Mhm.
decades and decades, but all those things used to be physical, and also accommodations.
Mhm.
What employers have to do what we call reasonable accommodations if
Mhm.
somebody has work restrictions. And I've seen a big downturn in like what we used to do is somebody has carpal tunnel used to be the big thing
Right.
when I was coming up.
Yeah.
It was carpal tunnel, sometimes whiplash after like car accidents and stuff.
Yep.
And then obviously your chronic conditions like cancer, diabetes,
Mhm.
morbidities and stuff like that. Mental health has surpassed that, I think, as far as the actual claims.
Yeah. It's been since 2020, right?
Yeah.
It spiked in 2020.
Yeah, the pandemic
And
did a
then-
number, and I don't. And I think a lot of people blame the pandemic, but I don't know if the pandemic caused mental health issues, or did people just hit the reset button and get to reflect? Because
Yeah.
sometimes when people are in that go mode,
Yes.
you're not thinking that you're in a state of depression, anxiety, whatever. It's normal. It's normalized.
Right.
Whereas now, okay, the world came to a halt.
Now
and
you
now
can
you
think
go
about,
back
yeah.
and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, also, I think it's working from home. Like I did a whole thing about burnout, and the
For your
data,
company.
yeah, for my company, and the data showed, it was back in 2021,
Mhm.
that working from home, companies trick people into thinking, not trick, but people, like, it's a misconception that it's benefit. You
But
work harder.
it's a misconception that it outweighs
Yeah.
the old thing. You know.
Yes, you save time because you don't have to, I don't know, get up and take a shower.
And it does
and
have
be in
benefits.
Yeah, it does.
But I think the misconception is it has no drawbacks.
Yes. The drawback is during 2020 and 2021, you have no line drawn between home and work.
Right.
Because you're at home, you're on your computer. After 5, you don't take a lunch break. You do, but you probably eat in front of your computer. And then on top of it, there you have your kids doing distance learning, so you have that on the background. And then at 5 o'clock, you really don't shut down and go home. You just leave your computer on and keep working. So there's no, like, before you could at least decompress on your commute home.
Yeah.
Unless you're in LA, which is not decompressing.
Super
it's more
stressor.
stressful. But if you're in Orange County or San Diego or whatever, you can decompress while you drive home. But when you just work from home, you have the distance learning with the kids. You have the, no breaks. We encourage people to take a walk during the day, but who does that? How many times have I done that? Like,
I mean,
maybe
and
3.
that's kind of a Band-Aid type of thing anyway.
Yeah.
But and how does this relate to Disney? Because I think we're a Disney channel, right? The way I think, and it's a hypothesis. I have no solid evidence of this, but I think there's a correlation. That again, everyone. I gave the whole PTO speech when I talk about the cost benefit analysis of having a Magic Key and PTO and da. If you have a Magic Key, if you get a Believe or Inspire, you get to go on more Saturdays. Therefore, you don't have to take PTO. And then PTO is actual money. People don't think of it as money, but it's money.
It is, yeah.
If you're using that PTO for FMLA, because FMLA is unpaid.
Oh, yeah. True.
If you're using FM for mental health days, for FMLA, or for just absences, and it might not even be for yourself. Sometimes it's like your spouse, your kids, for mental health reasons. And mental health reasons are chronic.
Yeah.
Like they're not, you can't just snap your finger and fix them.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have less paid time off to go to places like Disney.
Yes.
And I don't think in Disney, which used to be people's escape, now their escape is just not going to work.
Yes.
Not logging on.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge issue in our country. And yes, and I'm not saying, oh my God, we need to fix mental health for the sake of Disney. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Disney is an indicator of a mental health crisis.
Mental health crisis, yeah.
So when I think there's probably a correlation of Disney revenue and stock shares, you could see to good mental health among people. Because what is Disney really? It's I don't want to compare it to church because I don't know, something like that. But it is a planned outing for families.
Yes.
It is a planned outing for friends, and you have to budget for it, one, and you have to make an effort to do it. Once it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Once certain needs aren't met, you can't get to the rung above you. Yeah. Right? So if, the bottom rung is food, shelter, water type stuff, the next rung is like safety, and then there's like, you get into the more loving, belonging, mental health type stuff. And then you get into the more luxury, like nice to haves, right? The farther you go up, the more nice to haves they are. Yeah. Disney is a nice to have. If you aren't feeling like if you're going through a divorce, you're probably not thinking about Disney. Now,
Mhm.
some people probably will as an automatic, like, hey, I need to go there.
Mhm.
But what if your Disney trip, like if, you know, just a married couple,
Mhm.
right? If you're used to going with your
Yeah,
wife or
you
your
wouldn't
husband,
want to. Yeah.
maybe that's the place you avoid,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, now.
Mhm.
Or if you've had, we know people who've had deaths in the family,
Mm-hmm.
and Disney was a place where they used to get together with that
Mhm.
loved one.
Mm-hmm.
Now it becomes like hard to go to that thing
Mhm.
because there's a sense of grief,
Mm-hmm.
and it might even be a sense of guilt
Mm-hmm.
because now it's like you're going to the place we shared,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's for big things. Even things like depression. It's like I'm taking 5 days off. My doctor, my therapist, whatever, gave me 5 days off of work, 40 hours off. That was something that we would have used for a 5-day Disney trip.
Right, because you have to use your PTO for.
Exactly, because we still need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I always encourage people, think of PTO as money, because when you're sick, it is.
Yeah.
It's literally, you're going to use it to pay
I
your
mean, like,
bills.
we're pretty transparent here. I mean, even me, what was it in 2022 that I
Mhm.
took the 2 months leave, mental
Mhm.
health leave, and
Mhm.
me, the superstar at work,
Yeah.
you would never think, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I got to take 2 months off.
Yeah.
So I took it off. And
Yeah.
luckily for me, because I work so hard, I never take PTO. I had like, I don't know, 300
you had it
hours left.
maxed.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's cool. But I mean, normal people, when they just take regular, the 2
Well,
weeks
it's
a
not.
year.
It's not just that. I don't even think it's because you work hard. That's part of it. You don't take time off, which probably it's kind of like the snake eating its own tail. If you never take time off, you're going to probably have more of a need for mental health break.
Yeah.
Right. But there's also other things like we don't have children,
Yeah.
right? If you
yeah.
have sick children, you got to take time off
Right,
too.
right.
So there's other things that play into that.
Yeah.
Now imagine somebody who works hard, doesn't take time off, needs a mental health break. They have a death in the family. They're getting over
Mhm.
that, and they have sick kids.
Mhm.
Like that's not unnormal.
Yeah.
And I think that is, I'm seeing it in the data for claims and stuff. I think that's going to definitely affect attendance at any, not just Disney, but any
Yeah.
type of leisure activity where you would have to take time off of work.
Yeah. I didn't realize that
Mhm.
when people need to take FMLA, for example, if they don't have the hours, the PTO, they'd have to take it without leave.
Without money, without pay.
Yeah, without pay. Without pay.
Yeah. And a lot of people, even in California,
what if
it's
people
like
are
there's people in
hourly?
California who are making six figures and still living paycheck to paycheck because it's so expensive to live in certain
Yeah.
parts of California, right? And it doesn't matter if you're salary or hourly.
Because if you're hourly, you don't have PTO, right?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you actually even have it more. You have more of a need for it. In fact, I said one of the biggest distinguishing factors from what I considered, the middle class between working class and middle class
Mhm.
is salaried people versus hourly, salary exempt people.
Oh, yeah. Hourly, yeah.
Because even though they both get PTO, let's say you're a single parent,
Mm-hmm.
or let's say you're somebody who is taking care of your parents, your elderly
Mhm.
parents, or somebody who has a medical condition
Mm-hmm.
where you need treatment.
Mhm.
Or it could be a mental health condition. You
Mhm.
need therapy so much. If you're a salaried exempt person, and I was giving people advice this when I used to work for the county.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like there are certain positions, and most everything was hourly. But
Mhm.
there was this one person who came to me, and they were like, they were looking at between these two positions to go for on their track.
Mm-hmm.
And one was a salaried position, but in the county they would call unrepresented because it wasn't union. It
Mhm,
wasn't,
mhm.
and then there was like another position that paid more, but it was still hourly.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and this person was a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you might want to consider that because even though this other position pays $5,000 a year more,
Mm-hmm.
how often hourly do you have to like pick up your kids from school
Yeah.
because her ex wasn't a very
Or even if your kid's
responsible
sick
parent.
and you have to take
Yeah.
them to the doctor.
Well, and she didn't have a good ex as a partner
Yeah.
as far as parenting.
Yeah.
So like he would just be like, no, I don't want to pick up the kid this day today.
Mm.
And he would have those type of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you duck out, you lose that hour of
Yeah,
work.
hour. Yeah.
You have to use PTO
Yeah.
to make that a full 8-hour day.
Right.
If you're a salaried exempt person, basically you are paid. If you do any work during the day,
Mm-hmm.
you get paid for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a dentist appointment, I could
Yeah, I
duck
think
out.
you can take 2 hours, right? Without.
Take any amount.
Yeah.
If I send one email a day, technically I could get paid
Yeah.
under federal law.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe me, go to the Department of Labor and look up fact sheet 17G, and they'll tell you straight up when an employee can dock to pay a salary.
Probably even more lax in California.
Yeah, you know, they usually are a lot more lenient because
Lenient to employees.
yeah,
Yeah.
but and a lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of managers, I'd have to get on them. It's like, yeah, this person was late. This salaried employee was late, and I'm going to dock their pay. I'm like, can't dock their pay because salaried employees. The whole point of that is that they don't get overtime. That's what the
Yeah.
exempt is. The
Yeah.
exempt means you're exempt from overtime.
Right.
So if you can't work overtime, you can't work undertime. That's
Right.
that's what
Right,
the thing
right.
I tell people. But that's a big difference because if I can just bail out, stop what I'm doing, go pick up my kids, stop what I'm doing, go check on my mom, stop what I'm doing, go to the grocery store, stop what I'm doing, get an oil change, and my pay stays the same, and it doesn't matter what type of time of day I do any
Mhm.
these things, and as long as my work done, my performance review and everything's going to stay the same, that's a huge advantage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's worth probably more than a $5,000 raise.
Yeah.
So, but I know we've gone so far afield as far as this.
The
whole
point is Disney
yeah.
attendance might be slowing down
hmm
because people may be using their PTOs for other things.
Yeah, because it's not like the physical claims in work are going down.
Mhm.
It's the mental health claims are going up,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the physical claims are about the same.
Mm-hmm.
So when people run out of when people lose the ability to take time off work because they're using it in another area,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to affect all entertainment, leisure activities.
Yep.
That's my point.
And you would think it's the opposite, right? Like, because burnout is a new trend, upward trend right now in the workforce. But you would think it's the opposite. The more people are burned out, the more people will go to Disney or camping or whatever, vacation. But it's actually the opposite because they need to use their time off
Yeah.
for something else, for their mental health.
So that's why during we started our podcast, right before the lockdown, and then we started doing our giveaways, monthly during the lockdown. It's because we wanted to foster a sense of community. We wanted to our whole mission. If we had a mission statement, it was to give people Disney when they're not at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
If Disney is a place that you love, if the magic is something you love, let us give you an hour of that
Mm-hmm.
to where you can still feel like, I'm not going to say we could replace the parks
Right.
or we could replace movies or anything like that, but you can reach out to us. You could talk to us. We could talk to each other. We've made a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who have, and I'll give Carrie credit for this. Carrie has connected a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected us with people who are now talking to each other, podcast, notwithstanding, right? It's just, they just talk to each other in their normal lives.
Mhm,
And that is, I think, incredibly important. And I think that's where, Disney as the corporation, yes, we can look at it as that. But the Disney culture
Mm-hmm.
can be looked at as something that can be helpful.
Yeah.
When people are having a hard time in their life, the more when I was an adoption social worker, we had this saying because sometimes, there's a stigma of like, do we let anybody from the birth family into this child's life, or
Mm-hmm.
What if they had like an uncle who was super cool, but he just couldn't take care of the kid,
Mhm.
so the kid went up for adoption, and we always had this saying, no child can have too many people that love them.
Yeah.
And that goes for adults too.
Yep.
And if, feel free to, we'll have a confidentiality part. If you're having a problem or anything, you just want to reach out and say hi, or you just want to talk about food, or you want to talk about
You're welcome,
anything.
anyone.
Yeah, like reach out to us because we reach out,
Yeah.
to different people, and
I mean, look at my family. My dad's ex-wife's son is part of the family now.
yeah, yeah,
When they're, she's gone, dad's gone. But
yeah.
we have this boy
she
who's
has
like
her stepdad left your family, got remarried,
left.
that family.
But now we have.
But those people are now in the United States, and they're
Now
they
we have
come.
like an extra cousin.
I'll throw a party and they come,
Yeah.
and it's not like we're going to because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Why should
And
we
they're cool,
ostracize
so
people? You know what I mean?
He's, we have an extra cousin or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ex-stepbrother.
He's kind of like a stepbrother.
Stepbrother.
Yeah.
I just call him my cousin.
Yeah.
It's easier.
He's an adult,
Yeah. He's an.
and he's
I
with
say
our other
a
cousins.
boy, but he's
And
like
then
30.
we have a cousin who got married. We have our little Nora, and then,
Yeah.
Natalie got married. Her husband, who came into the family,
Uh-huh.
got him a job.
Yeah.
And so that's how community should work, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same with friends, And I guess maybe I have that concept more than other people because I even gave it during our wedding speech. I'm adopted. I don't look at blood as a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, to me, all the people who have helped me, and I've had dozens, if not hundreds of people who've helped me throughout my life. None of them are blood related.
Mm-hmm.
It would be impossible for them to be blood related because I'm adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there was just some random chance I met a relative from Toledo, Ohio that happened to be. And so I don't look at family or blood as
family,
is
yeah.
something that's mutually inclusive. It's great if you
that's
have a
where
blood
the-
relation that works out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
They called it the choice family. With the whole DOS thing, because it has
Yeah.
to be a family member to use the DOS with you.
Yeah.
And then the one guy was like, well, it was like you where he was adopted or something. And he's like, well, this is my choice family or
Yeah.
whatever. So what if I don't have,
Mm-hmm.
anyways.
What if I was a foster kid and I just
Yeah,
aged out of the
this
system?
is my
and
dad to me, kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of things wrong with that DOS thing. But anyways.
Yeah, DOS is a
digress.
whole freaking other thing. But we're not going to get into that this episode. We'll save it.
Yeah.
We already ran into it before. But yeah, I think a potential new member to our family is the awesome possum.
Yeah. Speaking of possum, nice segue. Speaking of possum, we ran into a possum at Sonoma Terrace. And Carrie said he was I forgot the name of the fellow, the Tiana's Bayou fellow, the possum from Tiana, Princess and the Frog.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot his name, though.
There's a lot of different possums throughout Disney movies.
But this one is because since Tiana's Bayou is opening,
Mhm.
he's probably there as a
Yeah.
mascot. But dude, he is scary.
He scared you.
He's scary to me because I
So
hate
you went
anything
up
that looks
so
like a
I
rat.
was saving a seat at Sonoma Terrace.
Yeah.
You went up to get the corn dog.
Yeah.
And some.
And I
drinks.
came back.
Well, before you came back, there's a possum running around. We were sitting on the lower level of the terrace, and then I was sitting with some people. Well, no, I mean different tables.
Well,
around
before
me.
I left, somebody was talking about, oh, there was a possum earlier. And I was like, oh, really?
Oh,
and
you heard
then-
that? Okay. Yeah.
And then I had left to get the
Yeah.
corn dogs.
And
And when I
then-
came back,
well, before you came back, the possum was doing his thing, and so he was running around. He came up to my foot,
and he ran off.
well,
or-
he's acting like a dog. Like it's
Oh,
like he wasn't
no.
scared of people. He was just kind of like sniffing around. He came up to my table, like my foot,
And
it
the
was-
lady was
it was
trying to
different.
pet
And then he
him.
went to this other lady, and that's when I started filming. Is when he went up to this other lady,
And the lady was
It's-
trying to pet him.
and she was sticking her fingers out. I'm like, I don't know.
What are
if
you
she should be
sticking
doing
your
that.
finger out for?
Like it wasn't like, and people were looking at me like, oh man, this guy doesn't care. He's not like scared. It's like, I know you don't make sudden moves with wild animals. So that's why I was just chilling.
Yeah.
If you get up and start screaming, that's when he's going to get scared and do something. So I was just sitting there, and there's like, you know, all right, you know, yeah, that's my shoe, that's my whatever.
Oh no, I
You
would
know,
have.
if you, that's how you get hurt. You know, even
Can't
with
help
domestic
it.
animals, sometimes.
Oh, can't help it.
Yeah, you can help it. People have better control than they give themselves credit for.
I'm like that lady who
But-
put her feet up.
Yeah, there
I'll
was
be
one.
like that lady.
Everybody acted differently.
Yeah.
One lady starts standing on her chair. I was just, I was neutral. I did nothing.
I would have.
And then because he made his rounds.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to give people. It's not like he stood in one place. He was going
Right.
around each table. Right. He's probably thinking,
Probably
looking
looking for food.
Yeah, he's looking for food. So the first table, lady stood on her chair. Was like Second person with me, he just ran by my foot, smelled my shoe, moved to the next table. The third lady wanted to pet him.
Well, when I was walking back, I saw it run across because I had
Yeah.
heard the lady say earlier. So I was like, so I didn't even go up to you. I just froze there.
Tracy's. You know, they
I
say
just
that
froze.
they say there's more than fight or flight. There's fight, flight, or freeze. Tracy's freeze. She's just standing there with food,
And the
standing
guy
up.
the guy on the table next to me was like, "Oh yeah, there's a possum." I'm like, yes, this is why I'm just standing here.
So like, Tracy, do you want to take the food and go over by Philomagic? And you're like, yes.
yes. So I went to Magic. But then I thought you said the lady who was putting her finger out. You said that if it bit her, can't sue Disney because she signed the arbitration clause. Or if it bit you, we couldn't sue because we have Disney Plus, and that's part of the arbitration clauses in
But
there.
the arbitration clause is also in the Magic Key.
Yeah,
It's in
and
any
so
type
we're
of
like,
contractual
either way,
thing.
we're screwed. Everything happens to us at Disney, we're screwed because we signed a bunch of things up with Disney.
And we didn't talk about that last episode about the arbitration thing that happened. So this is kind of our segue into that.
Oh, we didn't talk about it?
No.
It's everybody probably already knows about it, but we'll briefly.
Yeah.
This couple went to Disney Springs. The woman is allergic to nuts, has a death allergy to nuts. Like it's really bad. I have two friends that have that allergy. So she ate something. She kept saying, "I'm allergic to nuts. I'm allergic to nuts." They're like, "Okay, we'll note that." And then guess what? She ate something that had nuts in it, and then she had her EpiPen, but it wasn't enough time, and she passed away. So the husband sued because she said again over and over that she's allergic. And then it went, I don't know if it went, somewhere
The
went,
lawyers,
the complaint
Disney lawyers.
said, "Oh, you can't sue us
Yeah.
because when you signed up for Disney Plus, you agreed not to sue the Disney,
You have to go through
the
arbitration
Walt
first.
Disney Company at all. You have to go through arbitration."
Right.
And so that caused a big uproar. So that's what we thought of. Well, the lady who stood on the chair, if she fell off that chair, she can't sue Disney.
Or she
Yeah.
got bit by the thing. Either
Yeah.
way. It's like,
The lady who was trying to pet the thing
Yeah.
and got bit. And
And it's kind of like, and my thoughts on this first were that the lawyer who brought this up was an idiot,
yeah,
because that's a trump card. That's an ace up your sleeve that you save that you don't want to make public unless you really need it.
yeah.
They brought it up for something they could have settled out of court.
Mm-hmm.
Just, somebody died, they're suing, because they ended up withdrawing it anyway.
Yeah.
But
But then
now
their
everybody
statement was-
everybody's looking at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Their statement wasn't like withdrawing. They were just like, "Oh, for this case, we'll waive it. So if anything else happens, they can bring it up again."
Yeah. Now, but my point is that now the cat's out of the bag for no reason,
Right, right.
or possum, because now everyone's it causes, because it is kind of like, I can see like the average person would think that's a very slimy thing to do. You put this into all your contracts. Now, here's the thing. It's probably in a lot of contracts for a lot of companies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people read that freaking
The shrink wrap thing, yeah.
or the Apple
called it
contract?
shrink wrap.
Anytime you do an Apple product,
Mm-hmm.
things like 20 pages of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
South Park did an episode on it years and years ago about why won't people read this?
Yeah.
It's like all this, and no one reads those things.
No.
You just sign and say I agree and da 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 da. Da.
And you can't move to the next step unless you agree. So it's
So,
like you
yeah.
have no choice but to
Yeah.
agree.
And I saw it again, and this time maybe it's because it had just happened. We just upgraded to the Inspire
Mm-hmm.
key, and when I was going through the purchase, I saw it and I'm like,
I was like, hey, there's that arbitration.
and I
clause.
agreed to it because I want my magic key. But it's I don't know if it would stand up, like if somebody took it all the way to the Supreme Court, would it stand? I don't know. But my point is that some young lawyer thought that they were trying to impress their boss
Mm-hmm.
by bringing it up. That's not the type. That's not the time and the place to
Mm-hmm.
use that. You know what I mean? I think that they should have just saved that until they had something big where they needed to throw everything against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you bring it up. You know, like
But I'm sure that wasn't
like,
the intent of that
like-
clause.
like when a cruise ship sinks. Like that's when I was like, hey, everybody signed this. You know, you don't use it for a single family where a young lady died of
Mhm.
a peanut allergy,
Mm-hmm.
because now that law is going to be tested even without a major incident.
Yeah.
Somebody's
I'm
gonna break their
surprised though
lead.
because Disney's really, well, at least Disneyland is very
Not
careful
law,
about
clause,
the
yeah.
the allergy because, you know, I always say you have an avocado allergy,
Yeah.
and so they always
I
give us a special menu,
I do.
and they always give us a special menu
Yeah.
to order from if
Mhm.
we have any allergies, and they always ask
Although
us.
I stopped saying that, and the reason I stopped saying that I have an allergy,
Yeah, because their food comes out longer because now they have to prepare your food separate from
yeah,
where all
it
the
causes
avocado
more
is.
of a headache for the cooks.
Yeah.
Because you can't even have avocado on the same grill without
Yeah,
cleaning it.
exactly.
I'm
That's why I
like,
was surprised with
so-
the lady in Disney Springs because they're really careful about that. At least Disneyland is, but I don't know
I
about
think
Disney
inside the
World.
parks are probably maybe more careful than outside.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Disney Springs kind of like franchised more
Yeah.
than, you know. But yeah, it's tragic either way you look at it. But I would not have. All you did was just that lawyer just caused a bunch of bad press for Disney.
Yeah, it's just the bad press. And I
You
doubt
know.
that was the intent of that clause.
Well, no, the intent of that clause is to have something hidden in there to where if something big happens, they could pull it out, and it would at the very minimum, it would have to go to the Supreme Court because it would keep getting appealed and
Yeah.
appealed, and it would delay Disney having to pay something out.
That's true.
Where and if typically that's how large companies win lawsuits with settlements is because Disney has billions and billions of dollars. Your average family doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens, they know they can wait you out.
Mm-hmm.
So if especially if something happened to the breadwinner of a family or a co-contributor of a family,
Mm-hmm.
it's like this family is now lost like a parent or something. They can't wait 6 years to get this resolved. You know what I mean?
I gotta watch Aaron Brockovich again. It had something to do with that arbitration thing where the whole town couldn't sue PG&E and all that stuff. I'm gonna watch it again and see how it relates
Yeah.
to this because it had to do with the arbitration thing
Yeah.
too. So that's why it was the biggest whatever impleter. It wasn't even class action. It was like the biggest,
Yeah.
the case with a lot of parties.
hmm
Anyways,
So, yeah, that's that story. It's tragic, and hopefully, I mean, there's nothing Disney can do to bring back the lady, but hopefully, the husband gets something.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right.
So yeah, we forgot to mention, and you mentioned it, but we were able to successfully renew and upgrade our pass to Inspire,
Mm-hmm.
our Magic Key. We didn't know if we could because we thought if sales were paused, we couldn't upgrade. But it does say, well, Disney doesn't say, but ChatGPT said we could, and then Hannah had multiple clients who confirmed that they were able to do it.
Yeah.
So we tried it and it worked.
Yeah.
So if you are but once you hit the renew button, which is what we did last year, then you can't upgrade. You have to upgrade at the time of renewal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during the renewal process.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't end the process and then say, "Oh, I want to go back
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
upgrade it now."
So yes, we were able to upgrade to Inspire.
And the reason is it's still not as good as the old Dream Key because you
Mhm.
still can't go. Because we used to go on
New
New
Year's
Year's
Eve.
Eve. Yeah. That's still blocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, the last Saturday you can go is the 14th of December, for the holiday seasons. We did book that. Hannah did get us a room. Shout out to Hannah because we actually got a second upgrade.
Oh, yeah. When we stayed on
Hannah's magic.
Well, when we stayed on the Sunday before Labor Day, we stayed at Disneyland Hotel, and when I checked in, they're like, "Oh, you got a magical upgrade." And I text Hannah, I was like, "Hey, I got another magical upgrade." And I was like, "What? I need to go with you."
We call her our travel princess. So
Yeah.
she's we got her a jersey. It said
But
travel
it
princess.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't as good as the Pixar upgrade. It was just a view.
But yeah.
Pixar Hotel Pixel Suite.
Yeah.
It was just basically an upgrade.
But it's still an
to
upgrade.
A view.
It's
yeah,
still
it was
more
still
money.
an upgrade.
It's still an extra probably.
It was a premium view.
Probably $150.
Yeah.
More. So, use Hannah. You get an upgrade. And I can say that because I'm not representing her company, so it's not false advertising. Yeah. She should start booking people for Vegas.
I know. She do Vegas too.
Maybe people start winning more money. Yeah. But
no, but in Vegas I could just do the $20 tip and get an upgrade.
She'll get you something on top of that. And you might win $1 million. Who knows? But yeah, go to Hannah's link and use her as your travel planner. It doesn't cost you any money, and she puts in a lot of work because we'll text her at all times of the day and night.
Yeah.
She still gets us what we want. Because usually we're like one night type of people. We're not planning stuff. To me, it was kind of like, oh, did we get Oogie Boogie Bash? Okay, we got Oogie Boogie Bash. Okay, let's stay on property, and then we did that.
Oh, the time that we text her when she was at the state fair with her family was October 12th, because all the hotels around Anaheim were expensive because there was some man conference going on. I don't know, I don't know what it is. But anyways, there was some big conference going on.
It's just a religious conference. I forget. It's kind of like...
No, not the NAM conference. That's a musician.
MAN.
Men's conference, yeah.
Men's conference.
Anyways, so I was like, oh, well, if you're always like, oh, if hotels around there are expensive, then we may as well stay on property.
Yeah.
Because it's only a little bit more.
Yeah, if there's like a $75 difference, why am I going to take a bus?
Right.
When I can just walk,
Take a bus. I'm just kidding.
No, but I'm just saying it's like we get more value because I get cranky. And so I want to leave. I don't like the standing in line for the shuttles.
Yes.
I don't like looking for an Uber or waiting for an Uber if I don't have to. So what we would typically do is that we would go
taking a nap in the middle of the day.
We would go to the parks and then we would leave before fireworks ended. But now, like when you're staying on property, we're just like, we'll close out the park.
Yeah.
So we're actually getting more money for our pass.
Yeah. We could take a nap and then close out the parks.
Yeah. Let's stay till midnight. Why not?
It's like, it's ruined us. It's like the reel I posted with Kim Kardashian. I don't care about these things. I don't care. And then you stay on property and it's ruined it.
But Marriott is still really good. So
yes,
we're still Marriott members. We still will stay on use Marriott more in the year than we do that. I mean, it's still a treat. We just probably overdid it this year.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to stay as much next year, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And so it's a treat. And I wanted, again, one of my goals in I don't want to say it's a dream because I think we could probably make it happen, is to have like a get together where we have like a Pixel Suite type of room to where, we have like another podcast, Mics for Magic, and then we have like a get together with a space at the parks, whether it's a big room or a...
Well, that Pixel Suite was connected to another suite. So we could do that too.
I don't know how much that's going to cost.
That's why it's a dream.
It's a dream. We'll see. Maybe we might go in with some other people, but then like have like like a cocktail party type of thing, and then do something. But the only time I would do something like that is if we pick up on like Hannah and Johnny's Q, and we'd have to connect it to some charity,
Yeah.
maybe Chalk again,
Hmm.
or some other charity, or else it's just indulgence, which is kind of, but it's just But yeah,
So we can write it off. Just kidding.
if we were an LLC, we could. We're not.
Yes,
So,
we're not.
yeah.
We made it K-pop related.
Enough of your K-pop.
We could write it off.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, and then Disney reaches a deal with DirecTV. What's that
Yeah.
about?
Well, because Disney was off. You know how it used to be with cable channels.
Mhm.
DirecTV, kind of like a cable
Like
provider.
the Disney Channel?
It was like all their stations. So ESPN, Hulu,
Oh,
ABC, they were
Freeform.
They were off of DirecTV for like 2 weeks
Oh, really?
because they
I didn't
didn't
know
make
that.
a deal. But I
Oh.
think DirecTV kind of got the better end of the deal. I mean, from what I'm hearing, I don't know all the details,
Mm-hmm.
but this tends to come up. And so yeah, the Disney channels are back on DirecTV. But it was weird because remember how I used to say, it's not that I just used to say it used to be true that experiences used to be, and I think they kind of reorged it a little bit under JPEG. Or I don't know if it's when Iger came back about what goes under experiences,
Oh,
what goes
yeah,
under
yeah.
entertainment. So in 2023, entertainment accounted for, as far as their revenue, counted for 40%, and experiences only counted for 32%, 32.55. Entertainment was 40.64 because of the reorg. So remember I used to say the parks pay for everything,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's included in experiences. Entertainment is counting for more stuff, but they put more under entertainment. I think that's why.
I see.
And then the third was sports, which was 17.11.
So entertainment means like movies too. Movies, streaming,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
And I think, yeah. So, but a lot of people sometimes, revenue doesn't mean profit.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the parks are more profitable
Mm.
as far as like, for every dollar they probably get back two, Well, I don't know if it's that profitable. Something like that, right?
Oh, I think
Where-
it's costly because it all the maintenance.
Yeah, but it's like everything there is I mean, they're operating, their overhead's huge,
Mm-hmm.
but they can charge kind of what they want. That's why prices go up
Oh,
every
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
So like, this is our overhead. This is what our overhead's going to cost next year. So we're going to raise the tickets this much. We're going to raise the price of a churro this much. That's what they do, right? Whereas, like Disney Plus and all those things are not necessarily
Yeah, it's
profitable,
like-
but they have huge revenue streams.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, we're bringing in $1 billion on this. But it cost us $1.6 billion.
Yeah.
So it's not profitable, but it's a huge revenue generator. So that's probably what's going on. And then obviously, wages are going up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just at McDonald's by our house the other day, and they have the sign like "Help Wanted,"
Yeah.
and it says starting at $21 an hour. So the $21, well, that's the new.
I can't
minimum
imagine
for
what
fast
In and
food.
Out is then.
That's the
Because In
fast
and Out
food
used to
workers.
be the highest
Yeah, I wonder if they raised their
to
stuff.
25 or something.
But a lot of people, and again, and I said this I think the last episode. A lot of people look at California. It's like you pay your fast food workers $21 an hour, and it's like, yeah, but the medium home is $780,000.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're living better than you.
Yeah.
No,
they're-
if people in
exactly.
Kentucky are like, what? I'm like, no, you guys have probably the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
We live closer to the water. That's it. But
Dirty water. Cold.
what cold water? Where?
Cold, dirty
Are you
water.
talking there or here?
Here. Like the beach.
That's getting warmer, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
That's why we had a
Well, because
hurricane
my
this
uncle
year.
just sent me pictures of the water in Greece. and
Greece, well, yeah.
It's like
the
blue
Mediterranean.
and warm. I'm like, oh, not the polluted LA water we have here.
I am having a work function starting Monday, and trust me, they're flying. I have people flying in from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio. They think this is paradise.
Oh yeah, San Diego. I
Yeah.
was when people think of California, think of LA, so that's why I was just describing what's
You don't
in
even
LA.
live in LA.
I know, but I know what the stereotypes are of LA.
Oh no, is LA is its own, the.
Yeah, but
I'm like, if you have like kind of like that uncle, like a fat uncle who has money, you don't know where he made it. He's fun, but kind of has a temper sometimes. Probably wouldn't trust your kids with him. That's how San Diegans think of LA. It's our fat uncle.
well, parts of it, like, because when I'm there, I see, yes, there are the stereotypes where everybody has a dog. Everybody goes to Starbucks with their dog, and they
There's
get a
certain parts of LA.
puppuccino,
Most of LA's trash.
or they go to
Even the
Erewhon.
streets, even the freeway signs become dingy as soon as you get
Oh
into
yeah,
LA.
certain parts, yeah. And then there's the parts that's all pretentious, Hollywoodish, where everyone
But
goes
even
to,
there, it's like they want to come to San Diego.
yeah, it's true.
That's why you can't get.
$40 smoothie and
Yeah.
anyways,
But it's not nice. It's
No.
expensive mid.
yeah, mid, not nice at all.
San Diego's actually nice.
Nice.
So
I
know.
actually, there's probably some celebrities that live in San Diego, right?
yeah, there's a lot, and they don't want you to know they live here.
Yeah,
They want you to think they live in LA.
yeah.
Janet Jackson lives here. But yeah. But I invite everyone to come to San Diego. We like nice people here. When we
It's
go,
nice here.
people who go to other states, like red states,
Mhm.
I tell people, and this is pretty common. They say if they're from San Diego, they say we're from San Diego. They don't say they're from California, and they get treated
Oh,
really
that's
nicely.
funny.
Yeah. Like if you go to Texas or you go to like Oklahoma, Alabama, if you go to any like states that are typically anti-Californian, if you say I'm from San Diego, they're like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. I love
Or
San Diego.
SoCal, do they
Yeah.
say so?
No.
I should say SoCal because
No, they hate LA.
I don't know if people know where San Diego is.
Yeah, everyone knows where San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But is it time for Taste Talk?
Yes.
All righty.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
So, like we said, we'll talk about the Magic Key Terrace World of Color dining package. So, this is no longer available because World of Color 1 is stopped. I think they're having a new show. Maybe for Halloween, I'm not sure, but for sure for next year's 70th, is it? Yeah, next year's 70th celebration, they're probably going to have a new show
Yeah.
or something. Disneyland's 70th. But so it's a prefix 3-course meal. We started off with the Caesar salad.
It's so weird because I have 60th merch. That's how long we've been together.
I know. I have the hat. I have the hat.
It's hanging right on the door. And I'm like, wait a minute. We've been together.
Yeah. 10
It's-
years.
We've been married 10 years. We've been together like 2 years beyond that. So that's
2013.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
Well, yeah, the 60th celebration was we were about to get
yeah.
the year
Yeah, we
before we
got
got married.
That's a year. No, the year we did 2015
Oh, yeah. Okay.
because it would be 25. Would be 10 years
Yeah.
from then. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It's weird. Anyways, it seems like 2 years. It seems so short.
I guess that
You know
means
when
it's
people say 10 years, we're like, whoa. But now it's like, it's already 10 years.
I guess that's relatively a good marriage if time goes fast, right?
Yeah.
If it feels like you're
Or
stuck
it's
in a
like
dungeon.
the older you are, time is shorter.
Yeah, maybe it's just because we're older.
Yeah. A
It's like-
year is like 5 months to me. Like it's already going to be Christmas. And I'm like, wait, just yesterday it was Christmas.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Caesar salad. So you start off with the Caesar salad, or you get a choice of like some soup, but we wanted Caesar salad because it was a hot day.
This is with Aaron and Tamara.
Yeah. So the Caesar salad was good. And then you had the short ribs.
Yeah. And I made a mistake because I had teeth extraction that week.
Oh,
Teeth
yeah.
extraction.
That Tuesday.
So I didn't know that, like, and it's because I'm dumb. I didn't know like antibiotics can make you sick. Oh no! I took the antibiotic earlier. Yeah.
You were supposed to do it for
So
breakfast.
anyway, yeah, whatever.
morning.
Maybe I took it wrong, but I took it, and was feeling like ugh, and so I couldn't even
Because
finish
you
my
took it
meal.
and you drank alcohol.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that was a big deal, but I guess it is. And so,
Anyways.
so I didn't even finish my short ribs.
Yeah, I ate your short ribs. It was really good.
And it was
Because
good.
I had
was
that
mad.
chicken thing that you already had and we already talked about, so I didn't post it again or talk about it again. But yeah, the short ribs were really good. It was called the San Francisco short ribs, though.
Mm.
And then for dessert is the churro sandwich that was not on the menu. That was on the menu last time, but wasn't available. So remember how we said that since it wasn't available, they gave us a free tiramisu.
Right.
So this time the churro sandwich was part of the deal, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't good at all. Tamara didn't like it. Aaron liked it. I didn't like it because the churro was, Disney churros is really soft and crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. This one was just hard and crunchy, and I didn't want my tooth to fall off. So
She has fragile teeth.
I have fragile teeth because I grind my teeth. So yeah, I didn't want. So, anyways, it wasn't that great. Don't get the churro sandwich if you go to the Magic Key. Just get a regular churro, like downstairs.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was really sweet,
Yeah.
But again, I don't feel that I could judge the food that great because I wasn't feeling that great. So I felt bad. I'm like, ugh, I felt like I was being a downer.
I gave the Caesar salad and the short ribs an 8 out of 10.
I think the short ribs are good. I gave it like an 8.5.
Yeah.
I just couldn't finish it. And then the Caesar salad was good. I like Caesar salad more than when I first met you. That's what
Yeah,
you
you
really
didn't
liked.
like it.
I didn't like it. Now I like it. I don't know why.
It's the dressing. I'm telling you, it's the dressing.
Yeah, I don't
It has
know, but
anchovies in it.
Yeah, but I went 40-something years not liking it. I don't know why.
Well, maybe I can convince you to like avocado.
No. We'll start drawing up the separation paper.
You didn't like Caesar salad, and you like it now after I ate it.
Maybe some Vietnamese magic you're trying to put on me. Won't work with avocado.
Yeah, avocado is nothing Vietnamese, so I can't.
You'd need a dark hold for that.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was I gonna say? It was the World of Color.
Yes.
So
It was really good.
I forgot how fun it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because
kinda,
the time that we saw it was a while when it first came out, and we were standing behind the pole,
yeah.
so we couldn't really enjoy it as much. And this time we were kind of in the middle,
Mhm.
and then the crowd kind of died down
Yeah.
because people were kind of over it by now.
Mm.
And so we got good views, and it
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah, because we got the dining package view. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, it is pretty, I don't want to say iconic. I don't want to give it, but it is a fun, kind of unique experience that you can only get in so many places in the world. 'Cause there's other water shows throughout
Yeah.
the world, and, different cities have different things. But
A lot of people were tearing up during Coco and all that stuff.
yeah, they just do a good job of it.
Yeah.
And they have
yeah.
so many good IPs that they can pull from.
Yeah. Like the Star Wars and Avengers parts, I did get goosebumps. Star
Mhm.
Wars and Marvel parts.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. Like the music and everything.
Yeah. By the way, you were wrong when you posted that story.
What story?
Doctor Strange couldn't have trapped Thanos.
Oh, yeah. No. I didn't understand it, but you explained it to me. I'm like, oh, yeah. The meme person didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because the meme was that, what's his name? Zemo was saying to Sam, why couldn't...
in the Winter Soldier.
yeah.
They used the meme over for
Yeah,
different topics.
but it's more like, why can't Doctor Strange just do a time loop with Thanos the way he did the time loop with Dormammu so that Thanos could be like, okay, fine, stop that. And then Sam's like, you're out of line, but you're right. But no, he can't do the time loop. Why?
Well,
Thanos.
I mean, the same one. He could have done something different, maybe like froze all time, or I don't know if he knew how to do it. But it would be. It didn't affect Dormammu. Dormammu was just kept seeing him get incarnated.
And
So
Thanos would have seen it
Yeah.
a new thing each time.
yeah, he would
so
just be like,
he wouldn't
okay,
get tired of it.
The third time that you come back, I'll just walk up to you and take the stone.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, he wouldn't be aware that
yeah.
Doctor Strange is repeating time, right? Because anytime Doctor Strange comes back, it'll just be it'll be his first time seeing him.
But that's not what happened in Doctor Strange, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So he did it to affect himself. He's like, why? He just kept repeating himself doing it. Dormammu was aware.
Dormammu kept seeing him.
That's why it
but
drove
if he
him
did
crazy.
it with Thanos, it'll just Thanos seeing him the first time each time, right?
No. I
That's
mean,
why it
no, if
wouldn't
you,
work
if you
with
did the same
Thanos.
thing, yeah.
That's why it wouldn't work with Thanos. If he did the loop thing with Thanos.
Either way, Thanos would still win. So, you know,
But why didn't he use the stone?
well, that's what Stark wanted him to do. And he's like, no, because he was so worried that it would get taken. And then he looked into the future and said, there was only one way we could win. So he already saw.
Oh, so
He already.
the one way was not using the time stone.
Right.
Okay.
Because he looked into the future. He said, there's only one way we could win out of 14 million something
Yeah.
alternate timelines.
And none of those ways included him using the time stone.
Well, he saw the way he's trying to use a time stone if it included 14 million.
Okay,
different
I see.
Yeah. And he still lost.
Yeah.
So he did use the time stone to predict what would happen. And he's like, there's only one time we won, and it's when I did this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But
We
It is
digress again.
I know. We get into the Avengers talk. All right.
So, interesting news in the search for the new Walt Disney Company CEO. There were rumors that Dana Walden is still favored over Josh D'Amaro to succeed Iger. Now, for a while, they were neck and neck. And inside sources say it seems like Walden is still a little bit more ahead. Dana Walden is the chairman of Disney Television Studios and ABC Entertainment, while D'Amaro is the chairman of Disney Parks Experiences and Products.
Yeah.
So experience. So Variety noted that the insiders are worried that Walden doesn't have much experience with running the theme parks, while D'Amaro has
Yeah.
little experience dealing with Wall Street. So each of them have the different,
Yeah.
This
is the type of situation where everybody can probably relate who has a job, where you either yourself or someone who does such a good job they don't want to promote them, right? Because the parks are still very profitable. Even when attendance is down, they still make money, and that's kind of what we went through earlier. And if you put him in the CEO role,
he won't be Parks anymore.
no. So they just like, do you want to risk losing that? That
Yeah.
D'Amaro touch on experiences, so he can be the CEO. And it's kind of like, well, no, we want to keep our money because they're
Yeah.
a publicly traded company.
Because then they've got to find someone to replace him that's as good as him, and then there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like he kind of he's too good for his own good. We support D'Amaro because we're park goers and guests, and so we are like, because the things that we don't like about the parks, the criticisms that come up throughout the years with the parks are not his fault. They're usually budgetary things or budgetary decisions that are made above him. So the reason we support him to be CEO is because as park goers, that's the biggest part of Disney that we partake in. We would know that at him being at the helm of the entire ship would make better park decisions that people would have to follow. Where he's not in that position now. So we'd actually
Right.
have more power to say, if somebody has a good idea for if he was the CEO, that Avengers ride would have been done years ago, because he'd seen the value of that. The expansions would have been worked on earlier. There's a lot of stuff because he understands that the parks are.
What about the dust thing? That's the biggest criticism right now about the parks.
But I don't know if he has the final say on that.
Well, he's
Because
the head of
because
parks.
because this is in every company, like even my company, but there are certain things like I could say I look at certain things and I say this should be structured like this, or we should have a process like this, and then we have the C-suite that's above me, right? And then you have the board of directors, which is above them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, well, yeah, but that will cost us X. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, over 10 years, you'd make that money back tenfold or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, maybe we're looking at, because there's stuff that happened at the top that you're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So so for example, if you work for a company that's planning to sell in 5 years and you're saying that they can make their money back in 10 years, they're like, you don't want something that looks like it's losing money before we sell. So even though it's a good idea and we would make that money back, we're planning to cut bait before that you would see that ROI.
Yeah.
Therefore, that's not a good decision for us, right? We need to make something that's attractive to a buyer. So it's kind of like, and that's just one example of millions that could, you know, be decision making. Because if you're not at the top, you don't see everything. You know what I mean? If he was at the top, for park goers, I think it would be a boon. But that's me. Now, that doesn't mean that everything he would do would be park favorable, because now he has responsibility over every segment.
Yeah.
But I think he would at least understand that I know what makes money in the parks. I know that the parks are profitable. It's an engine for the company. And I know that Disneyland is not like a private equity owned company or something that's like, oh, we're looking to sell Disneyland in a few years, or Disney's still going to want to dominate the entertainment space, the park space. They want to be dominant.
Yeah.
So I think he understands that the parks are the fuel for that. And so he would make some good decisions that a lot of park fans would be, you know, pleased with. But yeah, because I think even Iger started at ABC. So even he probably doesn't look at the parks. He looks at the parks from a spreadsheet point of view. So did Chapek. Chapek came from like video sales and stuff. So a CEO that came from the parks, man, it's pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool, you know.
But they probably want someone more well-rounded. And like they said, you know, she has her inexperience with the parks. He has his inexperience with Wall Street.
True. But I'm one of the people that's like, I don't care if they sell off ESPN. It's like, you know, I'm like, okay, fine, it's fine with me, you know. I think the parks are the core thing. But yeah, I'm biased. That's my bias, you know. But here's the thing. Would Disney be Disney if they sold off the parks and kept everything else? No. People wouldn't even consider it Disney. If there was no Disneyland or no Disney World, but they still had ESPN, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
So,
yep.
What's next?
In other news, Disney is to ditch Slack for their in-house company communications following the July data breach.
Yeah. So they were using...
Not Teams, they use Slack?
A lot of companies use Slack. We use Slack with the company I have with my sister. You know, so it's, you know, and it's, you know, any messaging system has its flaws or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what particular flaws led to the data breach, but obviously it was significant, you know, so yeah, I don't know what they're going to switch to. Teams is good for computer-to-computer stuff. I don't, you know, I use it on my work phone. As far as sending messages, it's fine. But I don't know I don't know if Slack has more features. But then again, more features means more vulnerability too.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, it's a plus and minus type of situation. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny that I think Disney's whole, and we've been critical of their entire internal technology sector probably needs an upgrade. But they have been doing
their CIO?
But they have been doing better lately, I should say.
Yeah.
So I think Oogie Boogie went better.
Oogie went better.
There's a few things that went better. I think the runs went better.
No, the run was before Oogie Boogie, and people were scared that it would happen, but it didn't go well, and so they had to postponed the sales date to another day
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
after people waited like 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, just kidding, come back another day. But then Oogie Boogie Bash went well. So who knows? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I look up at their CIO, see where he came from. Anyways, okay, so the next thing was that Spider-Man Homecoming writer and director John Watts signs first look film deal with Disney. So he also directed the 2 other Spider-Man sequels. The president of Walt Disney Pictures and 20th Century Studios, David Greenbaum, is the one who signed him on. So it's going to be a first look film deal.
Yeah.
So it's probably not Marvel or Star Wars, just Disney.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would say Kevin Feige, not David Greenbaum.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, I think Sony is. So they're coming out with like their last Venom film.
Oh, yeah.
The last time. I mean, probably, and Venom is probably their best out of the Spider-Verse. That's their.
Oh, really?
That's probably their.
We didn't even
best
see the
one.
first one.
We didn't see any of them.
Yeah.
First 2.
Oh, there's 2. There's
They're
this is
coming
the
out with a third. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, Tom Hardy's cool, but I don't know. I just know him from the Chris Nolan movies.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
We'll see what this is all about.
Hopefully, I'm always hoping that they get to a point to where they just sell to Disney. Just be like, they don't want to
Yeah.
because they know how profitable Marvel is,
Yeah.
and they just want to be attached to it.
Mhm.
But at least they're moving in the right direction. So
And then finally, the couple who were Club 33 members lost their lawsuit to reinstate their Club 33 membership. So what happened was this couple was Club 33 members. There's certain rules, to be under the membership, I guess. But what happened was the husband was acting drunk and crazy and using foul language, and the security guard stopped him, and then he yelled at the security guard, and then Disney decided to revoke their Club 33 memberships, and then they sued to get it back, and they lost that lawsuit, but they said they will appeal.
yeah, that was weird. And Club 33 memberships, I'd be interested
You
to see
do
their
have to act accordingly, right? You can't be acting crazy. You can't be acting crazy at Disneyland. Look at when I just was frustrated at the sign and the security guard came up to me.
Can I help you, ma'am?
Yeah, I was like, you look frustrated. I was like, yeah, I am. So, can you imagine if you're Club 33, you have to act, accordingly. So I can see why, they lost the lawsuit. Because then also, why would the security guard lie, Because I guess in part of the lawsuit during trial or whatever, the security guard testified, and the husband said that he had a sensitive reaction to wine, which he had at DCA, which is the reason why he was acting drunk.
Doesn't everyone have that reaction? To
I
wine?
know. Which is the reason why he was he was slurring in his speech and acting crazy. But then you don't have to cuss and yell at the security guard. I don't know. It was enough to get the attention of a security guard.
Yeah, yeah. And then remember, like, I don't remember how many trips ago it was. We saw that couple kind of yelling.
Yeah, and then the security guard immediately turned and went that way, following them. Because they're there to keep the it's Disneyland. It's not Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
So
it is what it is. But yeah, if I had Club 33 membership, I'd be flying on the radar, man.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I'm even scared drinking one too many Brother Thelonious because they might notice that I'm weaving or whatever. I don't know. Not that I weave when I walk, but maybe they'll notice my Asian glow. I'll be like, oh, I think you've had too much. So
Tracy's the type that would have a DUI in Radiator Springs.
I already got noticed by them for being frustrated at the sign. So, yeah.
What do we got?
That's it.
That's it? Okay, so
So, are we?
we are going to be doing
Oh, we are.
we
Okay.
are going to be doing because we put it off so long. The
I thought we would
Deadpool
wait
and
till
Wolverine.
it goes on Disney Plus, but
Nah, because
another week. No.
we told people we'd do it this time. So
Oh, okay.
we're gonna do it, and So anybody who has not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, or if you care if you're spoiled, if you care about spoilers, we're gonna play the chimes and you can cut out.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone who stays will be doing a giveaway, Deadpool and Wolverine specific giveaway after the review that you will be eligible for.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody who doesn't want to hear anything about Deadpool and Wolverine, cut out in 3, 2, 1.
Chime.
All right. So, we saw it opening weekend,
Yeah. So I forgot.
July
most of it.
16th.
July 16th. Whoa, that was a long time ago.
Oh, was it July 26th? It was
No,
something-
26.
26, yeah.
But still, that was a long
a
time
long
ago.
time ago. Yeah. Almost 2 months ago.
Yeah. Do I think I remember some of it.
I know we kept putting it off of doing the review, but the thing is it's probably was the best Marvel, the MCU project in years.
Yeah.
Um,
Since Endgame?
probably since Endgame.
Oh, there was an article I just read that it surpassed Avengers. Avengers 1, I think.
As far as the money,
Yeah.
yeah, it's over $1 billion. Let me take a look and see.
I saw something like somebody's tweet or I don't know.
I don't know what it is right now. Let's see. It is. Well, August 16th, it was like, 1.1 billion. So it's over that. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things that they really needed because everyone was kind of like, Now, it did some things and it didn't do some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one of the things that everybody was kind of hoping for, well, like this is one of the biggest criticisms I heard. I heard this from even like on talk shows and stuff. It's like, we thought it was going to connect stuff. It didn't connect anything. Like, and this is the problem. And I call this
It did connect.
This is the Ahsoka effect.
Hmm?
If you don't watch Disney Plus, it didn't connect anything much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well, X-Men.
people don't know who the TV. If you just saw the TVA come in during Deadpool and Wolverine, you're like, who are these guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we had 2 seasons of Loki to know who these guys are.
Yep.
And so.
And
if you-
X-Men. It connected to X-Men, too. If they didn't watch X-Men, they
Yeah.
didn't know.
I mean, I kind of assume most people have watched X-Men by now, but maybe not.
Maybe they just watched all the Avengers movies and that's it.
That's true. And I take that for granted that some people, especially like Z's.
Yeah, like just Iron Man and whatever, all the Avengers
Yeah, because
stuff.
you got to figure that there's people like our cousins' age,
Mm-hmm.
people who are still in their 20s, our cousins who are in their 20s. Like Iron Man came out when they were in middle school.
Mhm.
So it's like that might be if they didn't read comics, that's their whole Marvel experience has
that's
been
their
on
Marvel
the big
universe.
screen.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of people don't have Disney Plus or they just don't bother to watch it.
Oh, who was it that we met? Oh, Katie from the Idiot's Guide to Imagineering.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying that when she watched Endgame, she was on a plane or something with Steven or something like that. But Steven had to explain the entire MCU to her on the plane before she went to watch
Like
Endgame
all like
with her
23 movies.
Yeah, with her partner. And she was like, so I just went to watch Endgame without watching anything, but I just got the rundown from Steven and then
That's a
went and watched Endgame.
At least watch Infinity War.
Not even that.
I don't
Okay, so
starting
everyone
with-
dies, and so in here you're gonna go in with everyone dying. Like I
That
don't
is-
know. I don't even know how he explained the whole thing to her.
That's wild. The explanation would be longer than the movie.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure there's. She should have just watched New Rockstars with their whole recap, maybe
Yeah,
2-3 videos.
there's ways to do cliff notes on things now. That it's on YouTube where it's like, and I did like remember I did the clips for casuals when
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff came out, and some of those sites are down. I might redo them for other stuff, but I want to make them shorter. So I want to be like, okay, look, watch this, this, and this, and that will explain this. I want to do it to where it's under 5 per project,
Yeah.
and because even with YouTube clips and stuff, if there's 30 of them, that's still a lot, to catch up on.
Yeah.
Like I did it for the Clone
I
Wars. There's a
mean,
lot.
If you just watch the movie or the show and then just watch the recap, he kind of explains everything to
Yeah.
catch you up.
Certain channels are better than others, but yeah.
Yeah.
But so as far as Deadpool and Wolverine, I give it a 9 out of 10, and I'll just start
Yes.
off with my score.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Because so what did I really like about it? I like that they kept Deadpool. If you watch the first 2 Deadpool films,
Mhm.
they kept the crassness, the
Oh,
profanity,
I see.
the violence.
They didn't PG him down.
They didn't PG him down. Matter of fact, this is the first R-rated billion-dollar movie in history of any movie, of any genre.
Really?
Of anything, yeah. So,
Interesting.
well, think about it. What are billion-dollar movies typically? They're family movies. They're, like Avatar, Titanic. You know what I mean? It's not, there's stuff that's,
Oh. Wait.
movies that have made over $1 billion at the box office.
Those were all not R-rated, like
Yeah.
Titanic and stuff?
Yeah. Titanic didn't, there was like some kind of a sex scene in a car, but they didn't show anything, and then he drowned. So it's basically,
What
Avatar,
about Avatar?
The Force
Superman?
Awakens.
Superman.
Yeah, all those things are like PG-13 max. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
This is the first R-rated.
Interesting.
There's a lot of good R-rated movies, but they're never going to make over $1 billion because people just aren't going to take their kids.
Ah.
This is the first one. And I think that's super important, not because I'm a fan of like every movie should have cursing and violence. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
It's
saying
just who Deadpool is.
that's who Deadpool is.
Yeah.
So to change him would be an injustice to the character, and then why use him at all?
Right.
And they wouldn't have made as much money because then they would get the criticism of like, I came to see Deadpool and I basically saw this watered down version.
Yeah.
So they kept Deadpool. Wolverine is more violent and curses more, but that's who he is in the comics. They
yeah.
watered him down for the X-Men movies because they wanted to keep it under an R rating.
Oh.
Because they knew R-rated movies don't make a lot of money, and we're going to spend a lot of money on the X-Men IP, we're not, Fox isn't going to allow that to happen, right? So they took a chance, and and that's what Disney has been accused of not doing, is taking chances.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Reynolds, I think, is a big reason why. First of all, he's a big reason why Deadpool got made in the first place, the first one.
Yep.
And I think he's a big reason why they stuck with everything for this one.
Yep.
Now, how are they going to mold him in with the rest of the Avengers? I don't know. That's going to be hard to keep that PG.
He's just gonna be that annoying
He'll probably be watered down for that.
guy on the side.
Yeah. But I also think they could do some funny things, like because he breaks the fourth wall so much.
Mhm.
I can see him talking to like Sam Wilson or something, and Sam tells him to do something, and he's like, "Bleep you," and then
Yeah.
he bleeps, and then he notices the beep. He's like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
That's something Deadpool would do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Why are you bleeping me?"
But so far, he hasn't been accepted into the Avengers,
no, he's an
So-
Avengers reject. And he did
which
tack
is
that
dumb
happy.
of them because he's so powerful.
He's not that powerful.
However, says that he can self heal and all this stuff,
Yeah.
regenerate or whatever.
And he has a lot of collateral damage. Still not quite sure how he got into the 616 from where he was. I think it was the
didn't he use that thing,
the time.
cables thing?
Yeah, that's what everyone is thinking. But it's kind of like he must have moved everyone there because it's his family and Vanessa and all that. So I don't know. That's still a little murky.
No, Vanessa and everyone was in his universe.
Yeah.
So he was in his universe, being the car salesman or whatever.
Yeah, but then when he's meeting with Happy, that's the same universe. Remember? That's 616, and they said that's 616. See?
Oh, I thought that was a different universe. When he met with Happy was 616, but his universe is not 616.
It's not the Sony universe is not supposed to be 616.
Yeah.
No, maybe.
No, but when he met with Happy, that is 616.
Yeah.
But then when he got rejected, that's when he went back to his universe, the Sony universe, and just became
but
a
we
car
don't know
salesman.
how he went there.
To the 616,
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you just use that time thing.
But they didn't show it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. So, and the TVA probably would have intervened since that happened. Supposedly a while
Well,
ago.
they were looking for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because when he went to all the Wolverine universes
Mm-hmm.
to look for Wolverine, he used the TVA's machine to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't know what that Cable's machine does.
Mm-hmm. But
see.
they might explain it later. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, they kept Deadpool. They made Riverine more comic accurate.
Mm-hmm.
They even gave him the mask at the end.
Mhm.
Remember, he never wore a mask in any of the X-Men films.
They even made a comment that when he went to one universe where Wolverine was short,
Yeah.
he's like, and then he said something about, oh, finally, like a
comic
comic accurate
accurate.
Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's only like 4 feet tall. But and then Hugh Jackman's like 6'2".
Yeah.
He's taller than me. It's like he's
Yeah.
tall. I like the Chris Evans.
The torch. Human
he's gonna
torch.
say it. He's gonna say it. He's like flame on because people forget he played the Human Torch
Yeah.
before he played Captain America.
Uh-huh.
So that was cool. Cassandra Nova was pretty comic accurate.
Mm.
Lots of Easter eggs.
Mhm.
Dude, they put Wesley Snipes as Blade. Come on, Elektra.
Elektra, which
Yeah.
was the bad Daredevil.
Yeah. They were pulling from a lot of things, and they kind of the whole Logan. It's like we're not going to disrespect Logan because that's such a classic, and then they
Yeah.
go right into doing that.
Yeah.
Desecrating his corpse. So yeah, it I think everything kind of hit a lot of notes, and now I will say that as much as I think they did connect everything, because again, as much as I talked earlier in the podcast about us being park bias,
Mhm.
we are also Disney Plus bias. We
Mhm.
watch a lot of stuff on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
So the TVA and all that stuff were like, yeah, and they had, what's her name? I forget her name, but Agent B, is it B something?
Yeah.
She's the boss,
Yeah,
and she's, a lot of
She's
people,
the new TVA boss.
like, people don't know who she is if you didn't watch Loki,
Yep.
and she's a big
She
part
was
of it.
Loki season 2.
So yeah, I think that there is a group of people who probably didn't think that it connected to anything,
Mhm.
but it probably connects to a lot. They're already saying that I forgot. I hate it when the names at the beginning of my tongue. Loki's the actor.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston, yeah, is already in negotiations to be in the next two Avengers movies.
Oh,
So it's going to connect even more.
nice.
But yeah, so I loved all of that. What are some of the things you liked?
It was just entertaining.
Yeah. The action was great.
The action was great. The comedy was great. Not overboard.
Not overboard for Deadpool.
For Deadpool.
Mm.
Overboard meaning like how the Thor: Love and Thunder. They kind of went too much, and it's like, all right, it's not funny anymore. You know, they tried too
Yeah,
much with the
because
comedy.
Thor's not really a. Thor's comedy is supposed to be kind of like he's
He's a bro.
he's a bro, you know, but it shouldn't be. But he's not a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool's a comedian.
Deadpool's a comedian, and yeah, I liked all the cameos, even X-23 or X-22, whatever her
Yeah,
number is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was entertaining. The action was good. The storyline. I want to watch it again because with the captions on. So yeah.
No, I think it's always good to watch it again.
Yeah.
We've just had so much stuff going on. We didn't go back to the theater, and it's
Yeah.
going to be out on Disney Plus like in a week or two.
Yeah, on
So-
October 1st, so we'll watch it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of forgot most of it, but I just remember being really entertained and laughing a lot. Yeah.
I think that now some of the things I was trying to think, is there anything I didn't like about it? I don't like it, and this is something that the MCU always does. They kill good villains. I think Cassandra Nova was a good villain. They killed. It started with Killmonger. It started with Loki, kind of, but they keep bringing him back. You know, they kill off good villains, and it's like you don't necessarily. Now I know, you know, with the variants and stuff, you can always bring stuff back, but yeah. Also, I think that I don't want them to lean, and this is not the Deadpool Wolverine's fault, but I don't want them to go overboard and take the wrong lessons from the movie of leaning hard into variants. So
Yeah,
much.
like
Because
bringing
then
back cameos all the time and things like that.
yeah, that's Deadpool's thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if you start doing that as your foundation, then it's just going to make the successes you have less valuable and cheap.
Yeah, and
So-
even Deadpool himself said it in the
Yeah.
movie. He's like, "Hey, this multiverse thing, you guys are kind of overplaying this."
Exactly. It's true. It's true. And it's probably like with now that you know, Jonathan Majors thing and all that, even though I feel bad for him a little bit, you know, depending, well, I don't know if I feel bad. I mean, he did break the law, but he kind of self-snitched.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
woman actually didn't call the cops. He called them.
Yeah,
and
he called on
He
himself.
got a case on himself. But I would say maybe that's a good thing that happened to Marvel
Mm-hmm.
because the Kang thing I don't think was going to hit like they thought it was going to
Mm-hmm.
hit. So now I still, the Robert Downey Doom thing is kind of, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. But at least maybe the multiverse thing can kind of be wrapped up. I'm not saying they shouldn't do any more multiverse stuff, but maybe let's wrap that up in a bowl. Let's make a sacred timeline, a sacred universe, and then stick with that after the Avengers, right? And instead of having all this stuff. So, yeah. There wasn't too much I didn't like because I was just so happy that they had a really good MCU
Yeah.
movie. So maybe I overlooked some stuff. And I was just, and it's kind of like recency bias, you know? Let's see. I'm trying to come up with some stuff that I didn't like. I thought I thought they could have gone more into the TVA
Yeah.
and kind of explained them a little better. It was very quick. So at least for the people who didn't watch Loki, they could have had like a little recap. And with Deadpool, that's pretty easy to do. He could have done the recap himself, you know. I think that, yeah.
I was confused because it happened so quickly on him and Vanessa. Because when they explained it really quickly when Cassandra was in his head, but I thought that the Vanessa, I thought that he wasn't in his universe with all those friends, that they just happened to be friends in another universe, and I thought that Vanessa in that universe was just a stranger that was just a friend of his.
Maybe.
But I didn't know that when Cassandra was in his head, she had broken up with him.
Yeah.
And that's the same Vanessa.
Yeah.
I thought they were just friends, and that this is because
Yeah.
it's a new universe. But actually, it's the universe we've been watching in Deadpool
Right.
1 and 2. But it's just that she
Yeah,
broke
so
up
it's kind of
with him.
like, and that's my question: was it always the 616, and he was just never mentioned, or
Yeah.
was it, So, not a big deal, but because I don't think a lot of people, the casual fans, aren't going to go that deep in it. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm going to, the whole sling ring to get them out of the void.
Oh yeah,
Now they kind of explained it because it had 2 Infinity Stones attached to it, so maybe it's a super powerful
Oh.
sling ring. But then again, the Infinity Stones weren't supposed to work.
They don't work in the TVA.
They don't work in a TVA, but you
do
would
they
think.
work in the void?
But see, that's the thing. Like logically, if you're not going to allow it to work in your office, why would you allow it to work in your jail?
Ah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Yeah, that whole thing about powers in the TVA and in the void is confusing.
yeah,
Because why couldn't all those people in the void in Loki season 1 use their powers to escape?
but they kind of did show that magic and stuff could be used in the void, because the old Loki did that big castle thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's like they can do it, but then it's kind of like, I don't know what's the point of this jail that has all these loopholes that you can escape.
Yeah.
Because Cassandra could have escaped anytime she wanted. Once she got
No,
there.
but she said that when she's at the void, can be the
Yeah.
conqueror or
No,
whatever.
Yeah, the point was she didn't want to. But
Mhm.
my point is, if she wanted to, she could have just left. Because she did. She's like, yeah, I can get you out here.
Yeah, then she followed them.
Yeah, and then it's like,
I was like, okay, why didn't you do all this before?
Yeah. So it was kind of like she had this agreement with them,
Oh, yeah.
but it was kind of like, okay, but if you're trapping beings, because they're doing it to all these beings that are of superpower, she can't be the only one.
Mm-hmm.
There might even be multiple versions of her there, so
Mm.
it's kind of like, all right, so that's another reason why the whole multiverse thing kind of needs to be wrapped up, because there's just so many plot holes
Mm-hmm.
that it creates, and now they're creating with a multiverse infinite plot holes. You have enough plot holes with just one film and one version of a character.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it with all these other ones. So, so yeah, those are some of the things, But I think the movie was so well received, and people were just so happy to get like a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was very well loved,
Mm-hmm.
but I think people loved it as a good standalone film.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't necessarily connecting to the rest of the
Mhm.
MCU. It was just like, you did justice to these characters, you did justice to the franchise with this third installment kind of thing. It doesn't really push the MCU forward.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really good movie.
Mhm.
And I think, Black Panther Forever was more of a tribute, to Chadwick Boseman kind of, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really good. Spider-Man No Way Home was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then you go back, Shang-Chi was good. But then they didn't, at the end, they were supposed to connect, but they didn't really connect to anything. They never,
Yeah, they never explained it.
a lot of the stuff in the MCU, they set up something that they don't pay off.
Yeah, like the dude in Eternals, Harry Styles. Like,
Yeah.
okay, are you going to talk about him?
Yeah. It's like a lot of, as much as we were disappointed the Acolyte didn't get renewed, the Acolyte stuff happens in the MCU daily. It seems like it's
Yeah.
like, okay, they will return, and then they don't return. They always have that saying, Thanos will return. So it's
Yeah.
like, half the stuff doesn't return.
Yeah. Well, at least all that stuff's in the end credit. The Acolyte is like the whole show.
No, but I'm just talking about the way they set things up.
Yeah.
It's like, now we know Shang-Chi's going to have another movie, and we know he's going to be part of that. But
Avengers.
But it's like, literally like a decade later in our time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not a decade, but a long time. Right?
Yeah, it'll be a while.
So now again, pandemic, shutdown, we get it.
Strike.
Strike. A lot of stuff pushed a lot of things back.
Mhm.
And you have to do a lot of reorg. I get it. But at the same time, just don't forget the reason why people like the MCU was its connectivity. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing where I say the connectivity for Disney parks as a whole is the the nostalgia and the multi-generational magic of I went there with my dad. My dad went there with his dad. I went there with my mom, and my kids are going. Like those that loyalty,
Continues.
like if you neglect that, you're going to destroy the parks because those are the people who keep the parks afloat. Those are your magic key holders. Those are your multi-generational people. Your branding. That's Disney Parks' brand, and they're the ones who uphold the brand. For the MCU, it's the connectivity throughout the films. And when you start going off of that, you're going to you're just a normal movie franchise. You know, there's a reason why the DCU didn't work because they didn't build magic. They didn't build this connectivity. They tried to do it all at once. Okay, we're going to have a Superman movie, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to put them all together. It doesn't work like that. The MCU was built over now. It's probably like 30 films, especially if you count the television project.
Yeah.
And some of them you like, some of them you don't like, but at least they're all in the same universe, so to speak. You know, they're all in the MCU, and they're part of the MCU. You can't just create that in a couple years. So don't throw that away. And remember what got you there, you know. So I think Deadpool at least worked towards that. At least they acknowledge that. And let's hope that they've learned from doing all these side projects. I know they want to create new characters. That's fine. Create them the same way you did Scarlet Witch. You brought her in, you know, during the Civil War. You know, well, Age of Ultron and then Civil War. Yeah, and so that's how you bring in new characters. You take something that you already got, and it's not a secret formula. I mean, television shows have been doing that since the 50s. You have a good show, you want to launch a new show, you introduce a character. You know, like Laverne and Shirley was part of Happy Days. You know. Like
isn't all those other shows?
Frasier was Frasier was part
Cheers.
of Cheers. You know? You introduce characters. If they work, you give them their own
spin-off.
thing. You know, don't just make your own thing and think it's going to work.
Yeah.
Like no, introduce them first. You know, you need to have get them signed off. It's kind of like the rap industry. You know what I mean? You know, that's why they have features. You feature somebody, then they get their own album.
Yeah.
You know? So I liked it. Again, give it a 9. Was it perfect? No. I'm probably gonna go back and watch it and find more plot holes, find more criticisms. But when you're in a desert and you get a nice glass of water, you don't complain. I think we were in an MCU desert for a while. So, for the giveaway, we have, and Tracy kind of already showed off hers. It's a locket necklace. Yes. Deadpool, Wolverine, half Deadpool, half Wolverine.
They're BFFs.
BFF. And all you have to do is give us a Deadpool Wolverine quote. I don't care what it is, something from the movie. You know what? No, let's give him one. You're the best Wolverine.
You're the best Wolverine?
Yeah.
Okay.
When he's trying to cheer him up.
Yeah, because maybe some people didn't watch the movie and just like to hear spoilers.
That's true. You have to give him one.
You're the best Wolverine.
You're the best Wolverine. I was thinking of other quotes, but they all have profanity in them.
I know.
It's kind of hard. It's but
because every time he says that, Wolverine says, "F off."
I know.
Scowling.
So we'll be doing our drawing for our main giveaway tomorrow. That is the 22nd. So this one will end it on. Let's end it on October 12th. We'll be at Disney, but we'll end it there. Okay. 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just send in. You're the best Wolverine.
Yeah, that gives people time to watch it on Disney Plus as well and listen.
Then they can come back and listen.
Yep.
And you just direct message us that quote, Facebook or Instagram. Must be 18 years or older, live in the United States. Yeah, this will end October 12th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll post a picture of the necklace. All right. That's it for us today. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.